Welcome back to the 6th Gear Garage. In a previous video, I cut out and repaired all the rust on the driver's side of this 1985 4Runner. And today, I'm working on the passenger side, and it's gonna be a little bit different because I have a donor piece. I've already cut out most of the bad. You can watch the other video for that process to keep this video short. And I've created an access panel here to get inside of the body and get the rust that you don't see from the outside. And as you can see, it's pretty bad. Not as bad as the other side was, but still very soft enough to put a hammer through. I gotta give a huge shout out to Aiden from Colorado. He cut up a parts 4Runner and sent me some of these pieces that I need. And as you can see, this is a very pristine piece to replace all of this. Now there's a lot of different contours and layers of sheet metal within this. I think it's 3 pieces thick in some areas. So it's gonna be hard to actually cut this out and get it to the exact shape of this. Be a lot of cutting and fitting, and that's gonna take a lot of time. So I made a cardboard template based on this piece. All I did was use the thin cardboard from a cereal box, and I put it on top of this replacement piece and sort of trimmed out what I didn't need, and then added some tape to fill in the areas that I cut out. And here's what I ended up with. Now I can take my cardboard template and overlay it onto my 4Runner. Make sure it fits nice and tight. And once I have it in place, I now have a clean edge that I can use to trace my template onto my existing sheet metal. And peel off the template, and now you can see my cut line. And that's gonna save me a lot of time versus trying to cut out and test fit this, trim a little bit more, test fit it, and keep doing this over and over again to get this in there just right. Now, all I need to do is to cut out this old, and I should be very close to being able to fit this new piece right in there. This section is up to 3 layers of metal thick in some areas, and the most inner sheet metal is extremely thick, as well as not very accessible when it comes to welding it back together. So my plan is to remove just the thinner outer 2 layers of sheet metal and leave the thick inside layer, because I climbed under and poked around and it is not rotted like these visible outer layers. So I'm carefully peeling this apart 1 layer at a time so I don't risk cutting through that thick layer in the very back. I'm using the pulsed laser cleaner to remove any paint and undercoating from the back side where I'll be welding, and this light surface rust from the front side. Next, I got to work on drilling out the spot welds so I can remove the layers that I don't need from the donor piece. I used the donor piece as a reference to see where the spot welds were located. Because I don't want to drill holes in the very back thick metal that I'm keeping, nor do I have enough room, I'm grinding down through the spot welds from the front side instead. I had a little bit of the spot welds left to grind off, and then I ground off any surface rust. So now that I have all the bad rotted metal removed from this, and I have the rest cleaned down to bare metal, now I can go to my donor piece and remove what I don't need from that, which is gonna be this thick metal bracket here. Now, I just need to finish cleaning up the surface rust and remove any paint where I was going to weld. So with everything cut and fitted to shape, I should be able to slide this right in. It's gonna sit right about there. Now I did drill some holes here because I don't have a spot welder, and this way I'll be able to do plug welds from the front to attach this whole section to this. And with all my surrounding metal clean and bare that I'll be welding to, actually I need to go up a little bit higher right here. You can see I've got some of this original primer right in this area, and I'm gonna just be able to weld right in there. So I'll clean that paint off, and then I'll be all ready to start tacking this in. This gap was a little wider in some areas than I hoped for, but I was able to fill it in. And then I ground down the welds to make sure they fully penetrated, and welded a little more. Last, I did a couple plug welds on the edge of the donor panel where it met the wheel well. So with this all finished up, I can weld this back together and then focus on these rocker panels. Because the deceptive thing about these old Toyotas is that even though they look pretty solid, they're pretty crunchy and they're flexing when I'm pushing on them with my thumb. So real quick, if you guys want to hit that like button, I'll go ahead and smash this rocker panel with the spike hammer. Thanks, I appreciate that, and here we go. Whoop, there's one. So not quite as rusty as I thought, but you can see it's pretty thin. I'm denting it up pretty easily. One hole. Let's go check the driver's side. And this one's looking a little rustier. Oh, there we go. So it's looking like the next video is going to be a good time to show you how to replace a rusted out rocker panel. And I have a new replacement rocker panel right here from Wolf Steel. Thanks for watching.